On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
They weren't, it was an androgynous look. We didn't know why. I don't understand why it was back then. But now that I know and now that I see it, I can't change what has happened. Jay-Z is another one that was a drug dealer, but changed who he was. I can't, you want me to hold something accountable of things that I wasn't even born in. But now that I understand it, now that I'm seeing it, now I understand the ramifications of it because that happened, because of the androgyny. That's why we're here today. What I'm saying is that we have to hold people accountable today, because if we don't, what will happen the next 20 years? So it has to be something. It's not, I mean, you can pick and blame and say, well, you're not, you like him and you like him. Okay. But the buck has to stop somewhere. So we didn't do it in the 80s. Do you not want us to do it now because it wasn't done in the 80s? Or right. We check it. We should have did it in the 80s. You're absolutely right.
Well, because what you're gonna okay. What you're saying now, Anton, is you're pivoting to all or nothing. And what I'm saying is, if I'm questioning somebody, if I'm calling specifically somebody out, let's say I'm super thug, I'm thugged out, I'm this, that, and the third, whoop-de-woo. So, because if you heard the other part of what I was saying, I don't want to hear anything else about a Lil Nas X. I don't want to hear anything about a Saucy Santana. I don't want to hear anything about a Lil Yachty. You can't say that and then do this too. But go ahead. I just wanted to know why we couldn't call him out, and you're basically saying because it got to be all or nothing. You can't.
I'm saying, why aren't you calling Eddie Murphy out, Martin Lawrence out? Why you ain't calling out the Wayans brothers? Why you ain't calling out the Wayans brothers?
I would have to go back and call Wilson out. I have to call all those guys. I have to call all of them out, all the comedians.
It's too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out, how did we get here? I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tiege Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tiege Hanley. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tiege Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Tiege. Let the Tiege force be with you.
That we've gave license to, that when you're a comedian, under this license of comedian, you get to do all of these things, right? And then here's the other thing, Anton. Most time with those comedians, it's still held under the umbrella of this is reserved for adults, this is reserved for children.
Do you like Prince?
But I watched Big Mama's House as a child. That came out.
No, I'm asking, do you like Prince?
Listen, and Kayla, listen.
Listen, okay, listen. No. I want to substantiate your. I want to substantiate your argument, right? Because you saying no. You're saying comedians, right? Do you like Prince?
You asking me, do I like Prince? Yes. Did I have access to Prince when I was a shorty? Yeah. Did my parents give me access to Prince, or did I sneak it?
I don't care how you got it. The point is what's being emulated in society and what has been emulated since the beginning of time. What we've accepted, what we chose not to accept, who we like and who we don't, and then who we hold accountable according to how we feel about said person. And it's inconsistent. If you're going to be consistent, be consistent across the board. Don't pick and choose according to who you want to rock with that's gangster and represented themselves a certain type of way.
Honestly,
Can I say something?
Hold on, Quest. Go to
We're
Courtney.
The most inconsistent.
Let's go to Courtney, then we'll go to Mel, and then Quest.
Yeah, because I understand what Anton is saying, but there's another layer to it. So once you know better, you do better. So as a chatter, even with White Chicks came out, we were younger, not understanding that there is, I do believe that there is agenda to effeminize Black men. So me learning and now seeing and going back and like, darn, they put a whole lot of Black men in dresses. And when Dave Chappelle said that, I was like, my God, you are absolutely right. So me understanding and getting knowledge of what I used to be entertained with and what I used to laugh at. And once I got knowledge and understood, that stuff doesn't become enjoyable anymore.
So let me ask you a question. Wait, is Purple Rain still enjoyable?
It's purple. I mean, I get for nostalgia's sake, maybe.
How don't no. Her argument is when you know better, you do better. It's the same conversation that we have about R. Kelly, right? Once we learn what the lyrics really represented, then people was like, I can't never listen to it no more. Some people like, no, I'm still gonna listen to it, right? The point is that we're picking and choosing, because if you really want to deep dive into it, the foundation of what we're seeing in society today started with the Princes. Okay, the feminization, regardless of how many women he pulled, he was still wearing blouses.
That's right. True, but Anton, you have to understand. But that was a genre of the '80s. Purple Rain came out in the '80s. There's no,
which makes it even worse because that's the seed that was planted that made it okay in the first place.
And I can agree to that. But again, we're not understanding the seed when that happened, when they was planting the seed. And you got as we get older and learn, now we see it. So when I look at Purple Rain, I mean, it's that genre. So I can't take anything away because there's the men all dressed like the entertainers dressed that way. Short, looked like women,
which was the
white men, the hard rockers,
correct, which was the foundation of what made everything okay. Listen. If you want to go to the problem, you got to get to the root cause of it. And you can't pick and choose what makes sense and what don't make sense based off of who you like or what it represented at the time that you found it. Once you know better, according to your words, you do better. And so now that we know better, then we have to hold everybody accountable, because the one thing that we don't do is we don't allow anybody that's not us to get away with things that they said prior to us. We tear down their statues, we kill their legacy, we do the whole 9 yards on them. But when it's us, similar to the people that we say that are the worst people for the community when it comes to Black culture, right? Nobody goes back and say, yo, T.I., how you gonna be talking and being a voice for the people when everything that you said prior to you coming into this whole game was guns, shooting, killing, all this. Snoop told us bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Ain't nobody gonna hold Snoop to the fire. But then we gonna go and we gonna hold these young dudes today. We gonna hold Tyga, we gonna hold YG, we gonna hold everybody accountable for the things that we don't like, but we're inconsistent, which is why not only we don't take each other serious, the world don't take us serious, and they don't give a fuck about what we say, because we're not consistent across the board. We pick and choose the people that we want to rock with, and when we want to substantiate and make it right, when it's convenient for us based off of who we like. It took a long time. Listen, everybody seen R. Kelly peeing on that chick way before when he got off the first time. We knew it was him on the video, and ain't nobody say shit. They were still going to his concerts. They were still rocking with him. And now y'all want to talk about dudes in dresses. They've been wearing dresses since the beginning of time. Your parents ain't hold them accountable. You ain't hold them accountable. And the only reason you holding them accountable and having a conversation today is because you don't rock with them. If it was somebody that you rocked with, you would not hold them accountable the same way that we never do. It's inconsistent across the board.
So hold on, Quest. Hold on. I'm gonna let Courtney respond, and I still got to go to Male, Quest, and Rio.
Okay. So you can say that is inconsistent. What I'm saying is that the accountability or understanding that a seed was placed in the 80s, in the 70s even, and that seed was placed not only in Black America. I mean, it was obviously that the white folks was looking the exact same. It was an androgynous look. It wasn't, they weren't in drag. There was drag queens back then, but they weren't, it was an androgynous look. We didn't know why. I don't understand why it was back then, but now that I know and now that I see it, I can't change what has happened. Jay-Z is another one that was a drug dealer, but changed who he was. I can't, you want me to hold something accountable of things that I wasn't even born in. But now that I understand it, now that I'm seeing it, now I understand the ramifications of it because that happened, because of the androgyny. That's why we're here today. What I'm saying is that we have to hold people accountable today, because if we don't, what will happen the next 20 years? So it has to be something. It's not, I mean, you can pick and blame and say, well, you're not, you like him and you like him. Okay. But the buck has to stop somewhere. So we didn't do it in the 80s. Do you not want us to do it now because it wasn't done in the 80s? Or we check it. We should have did it in the 80s. You're absolutely right.